It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome.
Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
The Saints are 3-1 here through their first 4 games. They're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
First down, Winston.
He'll get this one underneath.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go.
At the 45.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Locke now on first down.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. 20. 5. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays that once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Taken down by Pete Warner. This defense for the Saints, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing now is Locke. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, a Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Off the play fake, Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly took too long to set up play action, and that gave the pass rush time to get home for its 1st sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Jameis to throw it. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, when it comes to throwing the deep ball, no one has ever questioned the arm strength of Jameis Winston. And this is a beautiful throw right here. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. but it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
On second down, it's Walker. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, second and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Will Dissly, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. They look to throw. It's Locke. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Locke working out of the gun. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You can't admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with a 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now Locke. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Really held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Kamara trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Ingram. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And they'll accept that penalty.
So what a turnaround there. A roughing call on the field goal try leads to 1st and goal. They'll try to throw now. Winston sliding up, and he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints continue to pull away here in this first half. Lutz good on the extra point, and it is 28-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is You know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercepted. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. 3 touchdown passes now in the game for Jameis Winston.
And the Saints open the lead up to 34-0.
Lutz with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw it is Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Locke to throw.
That's complete to Penny Hart. On the move past the 40.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 38 yards.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Locke. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Locke. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw, Winston.
On a slant, complete to Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A 10th carry for Kamara.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Winston, and that is incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball in a passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Here's Winston. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So maybe some signs of life. I mean, this has been a defense. They've been all over the map here in this first half, but they're coming through with a big play.
And sometimes that one play is what you need. And it sounds overly simple, but this is a team that was close to being down and out before halftime. So to come back and return the interception for a touchdown, that's big.
Yeah, maybe it can serve, Charles, like you were alluding to, as a little bit of a wake-up call for them. We'll see.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Winston being chased out left. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Winston. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Winston trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Otss, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Otss tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Otss, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This is the tight end Fant. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Lock going to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Myers' kick is good, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd
to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Block now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield, and he's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, New Orleans.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
What's good on the extra point. And it'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over at first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
For this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got his tight end Fant. He's got the first down and more. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Throwing on first down is Locke.
That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3 at the 41-yard line.
From the 41, Locke. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Locke again. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And he'll find a little space. He gets us out near the 10.
98 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go play action. Winston rolling to his right. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Then he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out.
Walker.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Again, Walker.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
And that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Here we go on 4th down, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Ken Walker.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So that, Charles, a big decision there on 4th and goal, and it works out.
And that is an example of a coach who's confident in his team. He didn't look at it as a gamble at all. He looked at it as belief. Great starting field position. Let's go ahead and deliver. And they do.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the drive for 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
First down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Second down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Now Winston. Hard throw, incomplete.
The fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Returnable for Lockett. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Winston's throw complete there to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
All-Pro receiver Michael Thomas missed all of 2021 while recovering from an ankle injury, but we'll never forget that he set an NFL record in 2019 with 145 catches. When healthy, borderline unguardable, just like he was on that play.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
That one is blown up by Jordan Brooks, the linebacker.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Running the jet sweep, Landry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. A man who's been busy this afternoon is Kamara again. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put him behind the 8 ball.
Following the made field goal, Otss to kick it away.
Fair catch made on the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lock.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Locke.
He'll find Eskridge here complete.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now Locke, gotta have this one. He's got a man, complete.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Locke. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
No escape for Locke, and he'll go down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think